Good morning and welcome to the Leaders Brief by Egomong. Today we will be examining mutations of the COVID-19 virus and whether it will have any impact on the development of vaccines. India's new rules for e-commerce companies as demand for online purchases continue to increase, and a look at Italy's latest measures to aid the automobile industry. COVID figures crossed the 10 million mark, and the highest priority for all countries at this point is to develop a vaccine for the novel coronavirus that has killed over 100,000 people globally. Several leading companies are completing their last phase of human trials before launching the much needed vaccine. However, a new worry for scientists worldwide has seemingly become the mutating nature of the virus. A recent study by a group of researchers from the University of Sheffield, Duke University, and Los Alamos National Laboratory revealed that a recent mutation of the SARS-CoV-2 virus had changed a third of it towards becoming more infectious. The study was also mentioned by Anthony Fauci, director of the National Institute for Allergy and Infectious Diseases. The White House health advisor said that the research suggests a single mutation affecting a specific amino acid is increasing the respiratory viral load, allowing it to replicate better and spread faster.
One of the problems with respiratory-borne diseases is that they are spread either by droplets, gross droplets, someone coughs or sneezes on you, or even a bit of aerosolized, where you can be sitting next to someone very closely and you don't cough and sneeze, but the virus can aerosolize. And it will get in through a mucosal surface that could either be your nose, your mouth, or even your eye,
explained Dr. Fauci. Another study has suggested that there is evidence of coronavirus spreading through the air at larger distances. The World Health Organization has, however, dismissed that claim due to the lack of sufficient evidence. Despite concerns over the faster spread of the coronavirus, WHO Chief Scientist Dr. Soumya Swaminathan has clarified that mutations are unlikely to affect the efficiency of vaccines being deployed. She is hopeful that scientists will soon announce positive results about vaccines.
So we're entering a new phase now of vaccine trials, the phase 3 trials, which are the ones that will definitively prove whether a vaccine is efficacious and safe. I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic. The good thing is we have many different vaccine candidates and platforms. So even if the first one fails or the second fails, we shouldn't lose hope, we shouldn't give up.
The severely contagious nature of the virus has forced businesses to close down, with people refusing to go outdoors and governments imposing laws to restrict people's movements to contain the rapidly spreading virus. While countries are gradually lifting lockdown measures in a phased manner, WHO Director General Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus said that countries should remain mindful about precautionary measures.
To slow the spread of COVID-19, many countries have contributed or introduced unprecedented measures at significant social and economic cost, closing schools and businesses, cancelling sporting events, and asking people to stay home and stay safe. We understand that these countries are now trying to assess when and how they will be able to ease these measures. The answer depends on what countries do while these population-wide measures are in place. The point of these actions is to enable the more precise and targeted measures that are needed to stop transmission and save lives.
In the absence of physical interactions, the internet has taken primary role, and the demand for online retail is seeing a steady increase. India, with its $60 billion digital retail industry, has drafted new rules for the functioning of e-commerce platforms, which could lead to increased competition for giants such as Google and Amazon, according to several media reports, and boost Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign. The Indian Prime Minister also recently announced on LinkedIn an app innovation challenge to encourage Indian startups to invest on developing applications after the Indian government placed a ban on 59 applications of Chinese origin.
When
I stood at the Red Fort on 15th August and said, "Start up India, stand up India," it appeared to be mere words that came and went like a gust of wind. It did not register with anybody. But today, after about 100-150 days, people will now come to understand what is Startup India. Whenever we say Make in India, it also includes Make for India. Because it's such a big country with a population of 150 crores.
हम चाहते हैं कि वो
But what we're looking at is how to make it
फुल प्रूफ
foolproof,
कैसे बने,
easier,
आसान कैसे हो, और
and how to
सामान्य
make it
मानव
more
के लिए
accessible with a little
वो
bit of
इजीली
effort.
एक्सेसिबल कैसे हो.
The Prime Minister had said at the launch of the Startup India program. Bloomberg, which claimed to have seen a copy of the 15-page draft, said that the policy wants to mandate access to online companies' source codes and algorithms to mitigate digitally induced biases. The report also points out that the draft policy recommends the creation of a government-appointed e-commerce regulator to ensure that the industry remains competitive with broad access to information resources. Apart from this, shops would have to locate a product's country of origin and India's contributions towards it. The draft calls for increased transparency in the e-retail process and would be beneficial from a buyer's perspective. However, it would also mean that e-commerce giants like Amazon will have to loosen their grip over controlling their information repository, a compromise on key strategies. For several startups, the policy, if implemented, will create opportunities to capitalize on the local market. Stores like Reliance's JioMart are expected to benefit significantly from the move. Countries dependent on auto and tourism, which are among the worst hit businesses due to the pandemic, have started formulating policies to aid revenue growth. Italy, on July 3rd, approved a package encouraging the sale of electric and hybrid vehicles in an attempt to revive the auto industry. The legislation, expected to come in force in August, is also likely to provide an incentive of $3,390 to buyers of Euro 6 thermally efficient vehicles priced lower than $45,000. Italy's new policy targets combustion engine cars primarily to address the problem of unsold inventory. Apart from Italy, France and Germany have shifted their focus to green cars to help their automobile industry recover from the pandemic shock. In compliance with the European Union's Green Deal, which was summarized by the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen as a move towards innovation and recovery.
This is a very special day. This morning, the College of Commissioners agreed on the European Green Deal. The European Green Deal is on one hand our vision for a climate-neutral continent in 2050, and it's on the other hand a very dedicated roadmap to this goal. It's kind of 50 actions for 2050. Our goal is to reconcile the economy with our planet, to reconcile the way we produce, the way we consume with our planet, and to make it work for our people. Therefore, the European Green Deal is on one hand about cutting emissions, but on the other hand about creating jobs and boosting innovation.
France had earlier announced a $9 billion package to provide subsidies for electric and hybrid car buyers. Germany, through its $150 billion stimulus package, had placed $10,000 worth of incentives for electric cars priced below $45,000. However, unlike Italy, both France and Germany are focusing on providing benefits solely to the electric car industry. They may introduce additional policies to support this segment of the automobile industry, which presently contributes to a small percentage of their GDP. Most forecasts suggest that incentivizing the electric car industry will do little to boost the crippling auto industry, as the market for electric vehicles appeal to a niche crowd and demand is relatively low. Even though companies like Volkswagen and BMW are ramping up the electric car production, with the former aiming to convert at least 1/3 of its global sales to electric cars by 2025, with a targeted sale of over $34 billion, the figure, however, appears unrealistic, with most analysts estimating a maximum of 12% global demand for electric vehicles. Thank you for listening. Tune into Ego Monk to stay updated on the latest happenings and the impact on global trade, technology, and innovation. Ego Monk helps you make sense of change. We are a global intelligence platform delivering asymmetric outcomes by bringing organizations closer to the communities they want to serve and the leaders they wish to influence. Visit our website insights.egomonk.com. That is insights.egomonk.com to subscribe and make better and faster decisions today. If you wish to collaborate with us, then please email us at contact@egomonk.com.